All right then. Hello. Happy Christmas and happy Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day as I record this. I thought I'd have a look at the debut of classic Doctor Who on BritBox. And because, about 627 pieces of Doctor Who classic content have appeared on BritBox today, which is really cool in theory, although it's taken several attempts to get this working on my iPad. On the BritBox app on the iPad. I don't have access to a smart TV that can do BritBox at the moment, so the iPad is where it's at. But it also enables me to do screen recording. So, are you with me? Let's have a look at Doctor Who and see how this interface works. Well, that's nice. That's a good start, isn't it? Okay. So we've got all the Doctors here. Nice. Including the 8th Doctor. I'm assuming that if I tap on the 8th Doctor there, I get a decoding error. Well, that's fantastic, isn't it? Oh, that's pretty painful, really, isn't it? I think there's some kind of teething. There must be some kind of major teething trouble with, I don't know, maybe the addition of Doctor Who to the platform has quintupled at least the interest in the whole thing. I don't know. Let's try the first Doctor. Yeah, decoding error. Okay then. So let's see what we can see. I had my very first look at this earlier, and at first, when I tried to look at an episode, it would start playing, but audio, no picture. So I'd hear the titles, but no picture whatsoever. And then eventually, I did see the opening titles. But now it seems to have taken several steps backwards. So basically, BritBox seems to be a bit screwed technically today. So let's stay positive, let's be charitable, and let's have a look at the interface instead. See, I really like the way that this is curated. Yeah, it's a bit like YouTube playlists, really, isn't it? I suppose that's kind of the inspiration here. It's a bit like the playlists on my channel. I've got a retro gaming playlist and a VHS playlist, a Doctor Who playlist, which you might want to check out. Also, just before we get properly stuck into this, you might want to subscribe to this channel. I started this channel in February this year, and I've done about 50 videos, so it's early days yet, and I've managed to get 859, I think it is, subscribers, which is great. I'm really happy with that. I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but that now looks extremely unlikely unless you do fancy subscribing now in your droves. I wonder if you do. So what's this? This is key stories from each Doctor. That's interesting. An adventure in space and time. Now, Tales from the TARDIS, I think, is we can't see from this, but I believe it's a 2013 documentary about Doctor Who. Key stories from each Doctor. The Edge of Destruction, yeah, interesting. Tomb of the Cybermen, yes, definitely. The Silurians for John Pertwee's Doctor, not so sure about that one. I mean, I love the Silurians, don't get me wrong, I love the Silurians themselves, but is that a key story from the 3rd Doctor? Oh, the amount of nitpicking and arguments and debates that will ensue from these lists. City of Death, fair enough. The Caves of Androzani, lovely. Tell you what, I'm really liking these. I can't remember how some of these images look like new kind of Netflix-style thumbnail images that have been designed especially for this platform. I wonder if that's true. Tell me in comments if, for instance, this Caves of Androzani image, this specific image, have you seen it before? Let me know. 6th Doctor, Trial of a Time Lord, The Mysterious Planet. Nothing there for the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. But, you know, I kind of wonder whether there's been a bit of a rush to get this together, to be quite honest. A bit of a deadline being raced towards right, Tom Baker's favourite 4th Doctor stories, indeed. Robot. See, again, I'm loving these thumbnails. So, Tom Baker's favourite 4th Doctor stories: Robot, The Ark in Space, The Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, and his entire first season then. That's his whole first season, isn't it? Season 12, is it? No. I'm really bad with season numbers. Sorry about that. Pyramids of Mars. The Deadly Assassin. That's a great thumbnail. I love that. Yeah. Okay, we've got a couple of generic thumbnails there for the Pyramids of Mars and the Seeds of Doom. Fan favourites. Now, I wonder what basis that is on. Shall I try and play Genesis? Actually, no. I'd better not try to play any actual episodes, because if I do happen to succeed, which seems unlikely, the screen recording, which I'm doing on my iPad, will probably stop because it's programmed to protect copyright, which is fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, Curse of Fenric, Talons of Wing Chiang, The Deadly Assassin. Someone loves The Deadly Assassin on BritBox. I love The Deadly Assassin. It's one of my favourites too. It's in my top 10. That master scared the hell out of me as a kid. Okay, we've got a playlist for Dalek stories. Lovely. The Power of the Daleks. So that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the animated or largely animated, I can't remember which version, which came out in the last few years. The Space Museum? Does that have Daleks in it? I honestly can't remember. I'm assuming it must. If it doesn't, tell me in comments. Now, I like that An Adventure in Space and Time is on here. Mark Gatiss' fantastic. It really is a fantastic drama, as it says in the blurb. Yeah, it's great. So it's really nice to have all this stuff together. I like that. The Third Doctor, 10 of the best of his stories. Now, what's that? The Doctor Who, The Doctors Revisited. Some kind of documentary or something like that? Yeah. Nice. Okay, so best Pertwee stories. Yeah, some nice ones there. Spearhead, both the Auton stories, the Daemons. Planet of the Spiders, the Sea Devils, and Planet of the Daleks. Lovely. And some blank spaces. Surviving episodes, spin-offs and docs. You got K9 and Company there, whether you want it or not. Oh no, I've got a lot of affection for K9 and Company. Here we go. So we've got some stories that only exist as an episode or two, like Galaxy 4 and the Celestial Toymaker, the Space Pirates, and of course An Adventure in Space and Time is there again as a spin-off. Now here we have a really quite shameful misspelling. Can you see? Can you spot it? It's not Androzani, is it? Androzani's been spelt correctly, but Peter Davison's name has not. Sort it out, BritBox. Jesus, that's pretty poor. You know, Twitter is sufficiently full of people who don't know how to spell Davison, Moffat, or Eccleston, for that matter. So you need to be setting a far better example. So what are the best Peter Davison stories according to BritBox? Let's see. Enlightenment. That's an interesting one. I mean, actually, you haven't said that. A lot of people like Enlightenment. My friend John Higgs. Oh no, he doesn't. That's not him who likes Enlightenment. I was talking to someone who does like it. I'm sure that someone does like it, and I don't know it. I might watch it again. I don't think I've seen it for the best part of 20 odd years, and so maybe I'll revisit it and think it's great. Frontios. Kinder, now that's definitely one of the Fifth Doctor's best, and so is Earthshock. In fact, Earthshock is in my top 5, maybe top 3 Doctor Who stories of all time. Cybermen. Look at that, the 10th planet, the moon base. I mean, this is really cool, isn't it? Once the actual functionality works and whatever is going on with the platform, the bandwidth, or I don't know, is this problem iPad specific, or is it just... Could it just be my iPad? I don't know. Maybe my iPad is an iPad Air 2, and I got it 5 or 6 years ago, so I don't know. What if only the latest iPads can handle this? I haven't looked at the tech specs. So apologies to BritBox if it's my iPad. Anyway, we're focusing on the interface. That's the main thing, because we know what the content is. We don't need to actually look at the content. Doctor Who the movie, lovely. 10 of the best Second Doctor stories. Get another documentary there. That's great. The Power of the Daleks, Tomb of the Cybermen, the Dominators, the Ice Warriors. How cool. The Mind Warrior, Enemy of the World, and the Invasion. Oh yes. Animated eps. Fantastic. Shada, the 10th planet, the Power of the Daleks, the Moon Base, the Macra Terror, which came out pretty recently and is on DVD and Blu-ray, I think. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one. And this is quite cool, I suppose. I don't know how many people would actually go for this option, but it's quite nice that in this list here, before and after Who, see the Doctors in other telly shows, they're integrating this whole classic Doctor Who section with loads of other stuff they've got that feature doctors, like the thick of it. Yeah, see the Doctor swear his face off. Little Britain? Who's in Little Britain? Oh, of course, Tom Baker, isn't it? Yes. Ah, right. 10 of the best Fourth Doctor stories. We'll be the judge of that. The Ark in Space, Legopolis, The Brain of Morbius, The Terror of the Zygons, The Stones of Blood. Funnily enough, that is one of my favourite Tom Baker stories. The Ogre scared me witless as a kid. I was just imagining those great big Stonehenge stones smashing through our patio doors. Yeah, scary stuff. The Talons of Weng Chiang and the Pyramids of Mars. That's a pretty good list, isn't it? Okay, so here's an explanation for what the Doctor's Revisited docs are. Yeah, get to know each Doctor from the classic series across 7 fact-filled documentaries. Now, I don't know if these are new. I can't remember. There are so many Doctor Who docs in the world. I can't remember whether that is a new thing or not. Do you know? If so, tell me in comments. Villains, the Master, lovely. I bet the Deadly Assassin is in here, isn't it? Is it? No, it's all Pertwee by the looks of it. 7th Doctor. Let's see if McCoy fans will agree with this. Time and the Rani. Remembrance of the Daleks. Oh, yes. The Curse of Fenric. Oh, yes. Dragon of Fire. Survival. The Happiness Patrol. Battlefield. No Silver Nemesis. Now, I know that my love of Silver Nemesis is not necessarily shared by, well, anyone else on the planet, really. I love it. I mean, it's got Cybermen versus Nazis. Super shiny Cybermen versus Nazis with machine guns. What is not to like? The Regenerations. I really like these playlists. I think they're really cool. I think the interface itself is really good. And here's another nice one. In a playlist, albeit quite a short playlist of multi-Doctor stories. It's really good. Yeah, there's Tales from the TARDIS 2013 documentary. Yeah. The First Doctor, the Daleks, the Edge of Destruction, the Rescue, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, the Aztecs, yeah, the Time Meddler, the War Machines. Interesting. The Sontarans have justified a playlist of their own. Lovely. Yeah. The Invasion of Time. I love the Invasion of Time. That's kind of like my Baker equivalent of Silver Nemesis in terms of me loving unpopular stories. Love the Invasion of Time. If you love the Invasion of Time, get down there in comments and let's have some Invasion of Time solidarity. That cliffhanger at the end of episode 4 is one of the best things ever, in my opinion. Right, 6th Doctor, 2 stories. 2 stories. The 2 Doctors, the Twin Dilemma, Trial of a Time Lord, Attack of the Cybermen. Yeah. Terror of the Vervoids. Lots of Trial of a Time Lord there. Vengeance on Varos. And I think we've reached the bottom of the screen. I like these images. I don't know whether these particular images are brand new and exclusive to BritBox. Let me know how much of this content in terms of illustrations and imagery is brand new. So I think, given that it's really hard to actually see anything, I think there are kind of sub-pages that have potted blurbs for each episode. Some of these stories, when I did get it to work earlier, seem to just play right off the bat, whereas other things require a bit more explanation and have some blurb and like running times and stuff. Let me just press Tom Baker, see what happens. Decoding error, perfect. Thank you very much. Again, disclaimer, this might be my iPad, although I don't see why a 5-year-old iPad shouldn't work with this. I've seen a few other people on Twitter saying that they're finding it very difficult and glitch-laden, to say the least. But we'll see. And, maybe once BritBox is properly up and running, or I find out more about the tech issues, I'll do a follow-up video, depending on how interested people are in this video as well. So, yeah, I was having a little Boxing Day browse, and I thought you might want to come along for the ride. So I'm not going to, because it's Boxing Day, I shouldn't really be doing anything, and so anything work-wise. So I'm not going to put the usual, you know, end credits or anything like that on. But please do subscribe and get down there in comments and tell me what you think of BritBox so far. Answer any of the questions that I've posed in this video, and tell me if you're having any error issues, or whether BritBox is working as smoothly as a very, very smooth thing. Perhaps it's working as smoothly as a piece of velvet. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and don't forget to embrace your obsessions. Merry Christmas.